So you want to become a loan officer, whether that motivation is based on the income potential that it can bring, or you want to finally be your own boss, build your own business, right? Have that flexibility that you've been chasing. Or perhaps you're already in real estate as a licensed real estate agent and you want to add more opportunities to your business. Well, you've arrived at the right channel. In this video, I'm going to break it down to you. How much does it cost? What are the steps needed? And is it worth the trouble? So welcome to my channel. My name is Lor Vang with the Elevate Agents Network, and I am a real estate agent as well as a loan officer in the greater Milwaukee, Wisconsin market. And so in today's video, I'm going to go through all the things I've discussed in the intro to help you decide whether getting your loan officer license is the right thing for you or not. So let's get right into it. So first things first, how do you actually go about and get your loan officer license? Well, the first thing you need to do is complete a minimum of the required 20-hour SAFE MLO pre-licensing course. And so this is required by the Secure and Fair Enforcement for Mortgage License Act that was passed in 2008 after, you guessed it, the housing crash that was caused by all the subprime mortgages. And so this act was passed so that all future mortgage loan originators need to pass this test in order to become a licensed mortgage loan originator. And so it is a minimum of 20 hours required by federal standards. However, some states require some additional hours, and so it depends on what state you want to get licensed in. And so this course is available either online, in person, or a hybrid offering, and there are a number of providers that you can simply Google to find. Some good ones that I've used are Mortgage Educators, and then also there's one called On Course Learning. And so I definitely recommend that you pick up, also when you pay for the course, that you pay for the exam prep package, right? So usually they have the exam prep additional add-on, and it's totally worth the money because what you're going to get is a bunch of practice exams, maybe some flashcards, things like that. That's really going to help you pass the exam. And so next up, we're going to get into what's required to pass the exam. What does that look like? So before we can actually take the federal exam, during your 20-hour pre-licensing course, they'll walk you through how to create a unique NMLS identifier number that will be associated with you as a loan officer and every single loan that you do, as well as all the ads that you put out, the marketing content, right? And so you will have to go into the nationwide multi-state licensing system website, which is an online central database where they keep track of every single licensed loan originator, right? And so once you create that number and you pass your 20-hour pre-licensing course, now you can come back into the NMLS website and schedule your national exam. Now, the national exam consists of 125 questions, and you need to pass with at least 75% or better. And not to scare you, but over 40% of people who take the test the first time, they fail. And so the test costs us $110 to take each time. Now, if you fail the first time, you actually have to wait 30 days before you can actually take the exam again. And if you fail 3 times in a row, well, you actually have to wait 6 months now before you can take it a 4th time. So think very carefully, study very hard so that you can pass your first try. After you pass the federal exam, what's next now is that you need to do a criminal background check. They have to take your fingerprints, and you have to do a credit check to make sure that you're fit to become a loan officer. At the same time, you should be doing some research about potential mortgage brokerage companies that you'd like to work under, because as a licensed loan officer, you need to associate your license with a mortgage brokerage, right? And so you can only work with a mortgage brokerage company that is licensed in the state that you want to do your loan origination work in, right? So do that research, whether you want to join a local mortgage brokerage or if you want to join a regional or a national mortgage brokerage. So as you can tell on my shirt, I'm with NEXA Mortgage, which is the largest nationwide mortgage brokerage company right now. And there are a number of great reasons why. And if you'd like to learn more, check out my other videos here explaining why I decided to join with NEXA Mortgage. Or if you don't want to watch that, just simply reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk to you about NEXA and why they might be a great fit for you. So let's move on. All right, once you've picked picked your mortgage brokerage that you want to work under, then they will help onboard you, right? So they're going to help you set up the rest of your NMLS profile, and then they're going to help get you registered for the state or states that you'd like to get licensed in. And so there are going to be some more fees here. So some state licensing fees, as well as maybe your company charges you a small fee for sponsoring you as one of their loan officers in the state. So some more fees for you to pay. And then of course, your mortgage brokerage, right? Depending on who you join, their fees may vary, right? So you might have a monthly fee associated with the brokerage, or you might have a per transaction file fee. It all depends on your brokerage's model. Once your state has officially activated your license, then you can be fully onboarded at your mortgage brokerage of choice. And so now, congratulations, you are a licensed loan officer and ready to originate loans. So let's do a quick recap on the total cost to get licensed and become a loan officer. So to take that pre-licensing course, depending on the provider you picked, and if you want the extra exam prep packages, which I highly recommend that you do so that you can pass that test the first time, it can be anywhere from $200 to $500. And then that exam, each time you take that exam, it's going to be $110. So again, try to pass the first time. And then you have to do the initial criminal background check and the fingerprinting. That's going to cost you about $100, $150 along with that credit check, right? You got to do the credit check too. So don't forget that. And then the state licensing fees, right? To get activated in the state that you want to work in, it's going to cost you potentially, depending on the state, certain states have different fees. And again, different amount of hours that they require you for education. Some might require extra hours, right? So you might have to take some extra classes in order to get licensed there, but it can be anywhere from $200 to say $500. And again, your mortgage brokerage company that you're partnered with might charge you a sponsorship fee as well. So that is included in that $200, $500 number I gave. And so my editors will give you the total right here. And so you can understand now whether it's worth it for you or not. And so in my opinion, you know, roughly somewhere between $1,000-ish, right? To get your mortgage license to become able to produce an income of maybe 6 figures, right? That's a pretty affordable opportunity that you could take advantage of to create your own business, create your own wealth, and be your own boss. One last thing that you need to be aware of is that loan officers need to take annual continuing education courses to be up to date on their license. And so the SAFE Act requires that loan officers take at least 8 hours of continuing education credits every year, and those are in every single state that you're licensed in. So be very careful about how many states you want to be licensed in, and recognize that you do have to take these continuing education courses. And so some states actually have some more additional hours of requirement as well on those CE. So something to keep in mind, that's roughly about $100, $200 annually that you might have to take for one state, right? Obviously, the more states that you're licensed in, you might have to pay more. All right, so those are the steps that it takes to become a licensed loan officer, as well as the total costs involved. And while it's not exactly free, it's not exactly super expensive either. And it's also a fairly low barrier to entry to be able to earn potentially 6 figures or even more, because it's an unlimited income growth job, right? So you might be thinking, oh, well, what's cheaper, right? To become a loan officer or a realtor? Well, from experience as both, I can tell you that being a loan officer, getting your loan officer license is actually a little bit cheaper than getting your real estate license. And that's because with getting that real estate license, there's so many more fees and associations that you have to join, from your state association to your local MLS association to the National Association of Realtors. And so there's a lot of people asking you to pay fees. And as well as, I think personally, from the income potential, I think the more potential actually, now that I'm actually on this side, right? I'm on the dark side now. And so I'm gonna actually do a future video talking to you about the benefits and advantages of becoming a loan officer or a realtor if you want to decide on which one to be. Now, me personally, I would tell you to do both, but stay tuned for that future video so that you can learn about the potential advantages and opportunities that each license can give you. And so thank you so much for watching this video. If you got some value out of it, I would highly appreciate it if you hit that like button, if you share it with anybody that you know who might be thinking about becoming a loan officer. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button already so that you can be alerted of future videos just like this one. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.